This is Today at Keeneland for Friday, April 16th. Gorgeous sunny afternoon here in Lexington, Kentucky. Scott Hazelton alongside Gabby Gaudette. This is one of the better weather days that we've had here in recent days. I have a feeling, Gabby, that we don't have much wind and the sun is out right now.
And it's surprising because overnight we got to really chilly temperatures. There was even a frost advisory, but it definitely helps when the sun is out and there's no wind in the area. We had a nice day of racing yesterday. Hopefully you had some luck in scoring. But, one of the things from yesterday that I'll take away from it, we had top performances, but probably lost in the shuffle was the $20,000 claimer that was race number 4. We shared a pretty cool moment with Adam Campbell, a trainer that picked up his first lifetime win. Wesley Ward was flying yesterday, had 3 wins yesterday, including 2 two-year-old races. But Adam Campbell, a young trainer, first career victory ever, obviously, and it comes here at Keeneland, and he was extremely pumped up. Backstory on Adam Campbell, Gabby, a former CPA, and the irony of his victory yesterday, tax day. That's when he picked up his first lifetime score. That's great. I did not put 2 and 2 together. It seemed like his family was out here too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was an amazing accomplishment. How many starters had he had before that? It seemed like not many.
I want to say like 5 or 6 looking at the stats. But Adam Campbell, congratulations to you and your family. Hopefully you had a nice celebration last night. And hopefully, did you get your taxes in?
No.
No. You're okay because they pushed it back.
I know. Deadline. Well, I do know that. So.
Okay. Let's check out the latest on the weather with WKYT.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm WKYT meteorologist Allie Blake, and we are seeing sunshine throughout the day. And if you're enjoying Keeneland, you'll see temperatures warmer than they were yesterday. We'll get into the 50s, even getting by about 4 p.m. closer to 60 degrees. We'll see a couple more clouds moving in later into the afternoon, but overall, once we get to about 60, it's going to be nice. So I hope you guys have a great day.
It is going to be a perfect day. We've got 10 races for you on this Friday. We've got a featured event, a graded stakes race, the Grade 3 Bear Double Dog Dare, race number 9. We'll talk about that in just a few moments, but let's take a look at our full card selections presented by TVG for this 10-race card.
We don't agree much on this 10-race program, I should say. We only agree in 2 races, the first race with the number 2 horse, and then also in the 6th race with the number 1 horse. And beyond that, there are a lot of colored chiclets on the screen, and I'm not surprised because it's great racing this afternoon here at Keeneland.
It is. We're going to dive into the Double Dog Dare in just a moment, but before we do that, here are our social media handles at Keeneland. On Facebook, at Keeneland, on Twitter, at Keeneland Racing, Also a reminder, at Keeneland Sales is another avenue to follow on Twitter as well, with the upcoming April sale in just a couple weeks' time. On Instagram, at Keeneland, and the Watch TVG app. For those of you not watching us on TVG2 and you say you want TVG2, download the Watch TVG app. Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Apple TV. You've got access to both networks as well as the TVG Racebook on-demand content, the ability to live stream particular racetrack feeds. Watch TVG app. It is the best way to watch the races and bring them into your home each and every day. Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV. All right, let's jump into the featured event, race number 9, the Baird Double Dog Dare Stakes, Grade 3 event. $100,000 on the line. Scratch Bayesian Girl on the outside. A familiar face in here from last year, I should say. It would be the summer meet. Speech, Grade 1 Ashland winner, coming back for the first time since that triumph.
She did. She used that race as a prep race for the Kentucky Oaks. She came back, was defeated by She Dares the Devil, and then came back again in the Breeders' Cup, filly and mare sprint. So unfortunately, she had to chase very fast fillies around the racetrack that day, but she's back, and she could come back with a big year ahead of her for Michael McCarthy.
I'm going to go to the rail mare, though. That is Royal Flag for Mr. Farish, a homebred for Mr. Farish. This is Farish Lane's End through and through. This first dam of this Candy Ride mare, Seagull, has been such a producer. She has produced 22 total winners from her runners over the course of her broodmare career. This is a half-sister to Catalina Cruiser, a full sister to the Graded Stakes winner Eagle, and comes off of a victory against Graded Stakes Company in the Turn Back the Alarm at Aqueduct in November. Hasn't been seen in 5 months, but Chad Brown will have her ready to go here today for Mr. Farish and Joel Rosario in the saddle. She is my top selection in here. She's a straightforward filly. She's faced top company since she's gone through her 2 other than condition, which was at Churchill Downs. This will be her Keeneland debut, and we know how important Keeneland racing is to this operation. So I think that this is a key race for her, and we'll take you back to her last race at Aqueduct in the Turn Back the Alarm at 1 1/8 miles. Straightforward filly. She just sits off the pace and makes a run at him, and that's exactly what she did here today to win by 2 1/4 lengths. Prior to this, she ran into Nona Madeline, was second at Monmouth Park in that 1/16 event. She was second behind Latruska. She was third behind Horologist at Monmouth Park back in the Molly Pitcher in July. But this is a nice mare from a nice family and an important stepping stone for her to add to the bloodlines of Seagull, and when she ends up being part of the Broodmare band out at Lane's End for Mr. Farish. But Royal Flag on top for me. The number 6 horse, Speech. I think she bounces back here today. First start in 5 months. I don't want to say she tailed off in the last couple of starts last year, but she was in tough in the Kentucky Oaks, and I just don't think that they were ready to have her tackle the Distaff division in the Breeders' Cup, and that's why they ultimately opted for the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Sprint to see if it worked out. It didn't, but she'll be back to her best here today, you've got to think. And then the number 4 horse, Eres 2 for Arnaud Delacour, recently second in the Graded Stakes race. She might be speedy in here. She could be on the lead. I wouldn't be shocked if Tyler puts her out there in this spot here today. But I'll lead with Royal Flag in today's Grade 3 Baird Double Dog Dare.
Well, Scott, I am going to the 6 Speech. I trust her ability. She was a filly that really started to get good last year, and we saw her with an amazing performance in the Grade 1 Ashland. We'll take you back to the race right here at Keeneland during the summer meeting. And we did see some pretty impressive performances during that 5-day meet. We also saw some fast times. I think during the course of that 5-day meet, we broke a lot of track records, a lot of stakes records. It was a fast main track. It was hard to make up ground. And she did have a perfect trip under Javier Castellano. Also in the Grade 1 Ashland, there were a couple of horses that were stretching out in distance that might have been maybe distance limited, like Venetian Harbor. So I think it just really all came together for her that day. And I still think she's a great horse. There's no doubt, I shouldn't say great, but very good horse. But she came back to, in some ways, be exposed in the Kentucky Oaks. And then how are you going to chase Gamine and Serengeti Empress around the racetrack going 7/8 and still be successful? You're not going to. They're just too fast. And you could see the opening quarter and half fractions in the Breeders' Cup. She's just maybe not at that level yet. And it really took a toll on her in that particular race. So they did freshen her. She comes back. And I don't really think this is that tough of a group. I do think she's the class standout. And even with the scratch of the outside runner, she looks like, in my opinion, could potentially go. If she does not go, she would maybe sit off the pace of the 3 Graceful Princess. So with this smaller field, I think she's the class, and she'll have the advantage over the 1 Royal Flag because she is the closer in the race. The 4 Eris 2 is going to be the second selection because she really is kind of the combination of class and recency. She at least has a race in the past 5 months, and she could use that to her advantage. Her last race was good. She was beaten by Queen Nakia, who came back to run in the top flight. I think she was 4th in that race at Aqueduct. And she did get a good setup in that last race. I don't think the pace is going to come back to her the way it did last time out. And then you have the 1 Royal Flag, who, Chad, it seems like he has been doing this more and more lately. These horses have been firing first off the layoff. So the layoff is not any bit of a concern. It's really the pace scenario for me in this small field, if she's going to be able to out-finish a horse like Speech, who's going to have the tactical edge over her. So the 1 Royal Flag will be the third selection. 6-4-1 for me in the Grade 3 Baird Double Dog Dare.
It's a classic group of mares. There's no question about it. Fillies and mares, in this Grade 3 Baird Double Dog Dare. For more on the featured event, let's go to Tom Leach.
Laurent Giroux is going to be aboard Bonnie South in the Baird Double Dog Dare Stakes. She didn't have a lot of early speed, and there doesn't appear to be a lot of speed in this race. So how do you adjust to that with her?
She's a little bit of a victim of what's happening in front of her. It's always the way she likes to run, and I can't force her to do things she doesn't want to. She was a little bit closer last year when we ran her in the Fall City, just by fault, just because there was absolutely zero speed in there. Just see, she's doing great. She's training good in the morning. Like you said, I'm just hoping there's some kind of pace in front of us, and hopefully she can make a nice run at the end.
What's the key to getting her best effort in a given race for you?
For me, I think it's depend of the pace. Like you said, when there's a good pace in front of her, she's always going to finish her races, very well. when we're a little bit of the mercy of the pace scenario and we're going very slow, I can't really expect her, to finish, come up, with like 5-6 lengths, but we just need to adjust. That's a little bit that's too bad because she's a very talented filly, and I think she deserves a shot. These kind of races for sure. But like I said, a little bit victim of the pace.
Well, good luck on getting the trip you need.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate the straightforwardness there from Florent Giroux. So she's going to have a lot of work to do, especially at a distance like this with her style today for Juddmonte Farms and trainer Brad Cox. That's Bonnie South in the featured Grade 3 Baird Double Dog Dare. All right, let's get into our key races of the afternoon. I'll back it up one race to race number 8 on the card, 5.5 furlongs on the turf course. And scratch out the number 13, My Sweet Cat, who was on the also eligible. This is a tough race. I don't think I've seen a 4-1 morning line in this meet, Gabby. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we have one in here which shows how difficult it was for Mike Battaglia to sort through these horses, and it's going to be, I think, the same for the rest of us handicapping. And I'm going to go to a horse that's 10-1 on the morning line. That is 0-60. 0-60 is a daughter of American Pharoah that was purchased as a yearling in 2018 for $320,000 for Columbine Stable. Trainer Al Stahl. She was last seen 3 months ago trying to go a route of ground. Didn't work out. They put her on the shelf. She comes back to sprinting here today. And Colby Hernandez, he's ridden this filly a couple of times in her career. I go back to her debut at Saratoga, her sprint debut. She was 7-1 on this day, as we'll roll it back. This is back in July of last year. And she sat off the pace. It was a quick enough pace. She was always within contact of the pace setters. And she's going to kick home down the center of the course to win this race by 1.5 lengths. So I think that the return to sprinting is a key aspect to her. They sprinted her at Kentucky Downs going 6.5 furlongs. She didn't run bad as the favorite on that day in the follow-up race to this. I think 0-60 is awfully live in this 8th race, a very tough race, and she's 10-1 on the morning line. Maybe we get somewhere near that. I'd be shocked if she is. I think she'd probably be a single-digit odds once we get down to post time for race number 8. But I like her on top. And then the number 7 horse, that is Jade's Jelly for Wesley Ward. Wesley's just rolling right now. Johnny Velasquez is in the saddle. They continue to try this filly at these allowance conditions, and here we go again with her. I think you've got to respect her. She's going to have to run a giant race, and we'll hope that she's going to have that kind of ability here today for a former claiming type filly. And then the number 3 horse, Ghosting Kim for Nacho Correas, a filly by Ghost Sapper, who comes off of consecutive nice sprint races and including a victory at Fairgrounds. First try against winners, it's always difficult when you take that step up and facing faster horses that have already won races. So in race 8, 5, 7, and 3 for me in this 8th event, where you're going to stay in here in this tough race. I'm not surprised you gravitated towards this one, Gabby.
It is such a tough race, such a good race. And I did go in a different direction. I do respect your 5-0 to 60 for Al Stahl. This just feels like the right move, cutting back to a turf sprint. But instead, I go to the 2, Southern Mama. We'll take you back to her race on the 21st, or the 1st of January, and you can see her trying to make a move in behind horses. She did close from off of the pace this day. This was at Turfway Park, and it was her first race. And I always say this is probably one of the toughest things to do, to win in your first race and then be successful facing winners for the first time against Allowance Company. But this race was impressive. Her rider was wrapped up in the end. It is a question of whether or not she will improve on the turf. I think she's a very talented sprinter, though, and John Ennis has done fantastic work with his runners so far this meet, especially with his 2-year-olds, and I think it's extra intriguing that she does pick up Joel Rosario, and there's no better closer in a turf sprint, or no rider that I would prefer than Joel Rosario on a closer in a turf sprint. So the 2 Southern Mama gets the blinkers on, and she's my top pick in here. I wouldn't be surprised if your pick is lower than my pick in here, because I think Southern Mama might even drift up and your pick might drift down. Besides them, the 6, Senor Roma for Larry Ravelli. She's not really bred for the turf, but she's very fast, and she comes out of a race last time out at Gulfstream Park where she won by 11. 2 horses she beat in there. Main Attraction would come back to win a turf sprint and an allowance. She is coming in off of a bit of a freshening, but I think that or I should say significant layoff because her last race was in 2020. But she is fast. Larry Ravelli, he knows how to prepare his sprinters off of extended layoffs, so not a concern, more so a concern about whether or not she'll be better on the turf. So those are the top three for me, and I'm kind of smelling like a little bit of a side bet here. Since you really like the 5, I like the 2. What do you say?
That's fine with me. Yeah, I'm game. And
Okay.
I hate to be the guy to point things out, but Senora Roma is a half sister to a turf winner, so the pedigree is there, Gabby, for her.
But she's by Verrazano.
By more than ready. They do all right on the turf.
Still Verrazano.
Just gonna poke you.
But okay.
I wish I was
So
closer.
a bet. But
Yeah,
they have to. What? Who finishes ahead of the
Yeah,
other, or
yeah,
win?
That's it. No, it's whoever is in front, and you just got to keep track of it. Which, by the way, I found out today. This is some of the best news I've heard in a long time. There's a gentleman in his green coat over by the jocks room that I've been told. Our man Huey told me this, that he's been keeping track of our picks,
In your head?
and I'm ahead.
I'm not surprised because you're a chalk player.
So, oh wow. Hey, do you want to win, or do you just want to try? You just trying to go against
How
the
far
grain?
behind am I?
I don't know. I want to go see the tally.
This is bothering me now.
We're gonna have to go over there.
Okay, but the side bet is whoever wins has to bet the other's late pick 4 ticket tomorrow, no matter the cost. Does
That's
that
fine.
sound like a good bet?
That's great. That's
All right,
perfect.
we're behind.
All right, let's
continue.
move along. I'm going to go to race number 7. Nominated as a 2 allowance race, straight 3-year-olds. 6 furlongs is the distance. And the number 2 horse is a scratch in here. I'm getting text messages from close friends up in New York, and they're excited by what you're saying as far as the chalk player is concerned. I need to get back on track here. Be There is my top play in this race. That's the number 3 horse for the Augustin stable and Mr. George Strawbridge, a colt by Ghost Zapper. Adds blinkers. The first dam of this colt, informed decision, was a top-class race filly. She was a graded stakes winner at 7 furlongs, so cutting back in distance is the angle for Be There for me in this race. Let's go back to the Turfway debut. This is going a mile back in March and gets the victory. Great colt who gets Lasix, got Lasix in this race. Didn't race with Lasix in the stakes races with the new rules in place in these various jurisdictions, but gets Lasix again today. They're going to add blinkers in this spot. I think the breeding is there to be successful. I look for Be There to run a big race and has worked well locally. 47-1 out here at Keeneland back on the 9th of April. So watch out for Be There in race number 7, and then 6 and 5 underneath. Medicine Tail for Dane Kabisky, a horse that has a race this meet being wheeled back quickly. Joe Rocco Jr. commits, and then the number 5 horse is my third choice in there. That is the Ride of a Lifetime for Nacho Correas. Cutting back in distance, I think, is a big plus for him off the 7-month layoff.
All right. I'm going to take us to the 6th race, which starts the late pick 5. And unfortunately, there have been 2 scratches in this race, and it completely changes the complexion of the race. The number 2 Factor This, who figured to be the speed in here, is now out. And you also scratch the number 4 Hey Dakota, who figured to be a player in here as well, 8-1 for Mike Maker. So those scratches make the one Masterpiece look all the more tough in this race. And we'll take you back to his last race, which was at Belmont on the 3rd of October during their fall meeting. And he got a 102 Beyer speed figure going against Grade 1 company for the first time in the States. This was a South American import for trainer Chad Brown. And he ran well. I mean, look who he's running against. Channel Maker, Lucario, Sadler's Joy, multiple Grade 1 performers, and so this is a tremendous class relief. And he also has speed, which helps. Now, I don't know how much speed he will have at 1 1/8 miles, but I'm sure that he'll be able to get a good trip under Joel Rosario. I had more to say about this race with the presence of Factor This, but now that he's out, I mean, it just does look like class will prevail. The biggest question in here is the 5 Bandua, who scratched out of an allowance race yesterday,
Yes.
For this race today. So I think that's encouraging. It's a vote of confidence, and with Factor This out, he might have an easier go of it. But this horse hasn't run since 2019, so it's really hard to push all the chips that way.
Let's go to the Clocker Report. Race number 5 is where they'll start. Then race number 5, the 3 Sophia Strong, worked 48 and 48 flat. 5th best of 30. Gate work was sharp. Rider trainer winning at 24%. And then the Ride of a Lifetime in race number 7, 47 flat for a half-mile drill on the 10th of April. Knocked heads with some toughies as a 2-year-old, training very well and gets LASIK. So race 5, the 3. Race 7, the number 5 horse. Time now for our Late pick 4 discussion, $200,000 guarantee presented by TVG. And Gabby Gaudette, you have the honors.
Okay. Let's look at the sequence, and using 4 horses to start things off in that first level allowance race. It's the 6 furlongs on the main track. 3, 5, 7, and 10. Wara is the top selection there. We'll talk more about that horse in a minute. The 8th race, just using the 2 and the 6, Southern Mama, my top pick, and the 6, Senor Roma. As we get to the 9th race, and the Double Dog Dare, I went 1, 4, 6 in there with Royal Flag, the 4 Heiress 2, and the 6 Speech. Some people might be leaning on Speech in there, but I just didn't know if she would be 100% off the layoff. And then the number 10 horse, or excuse me, the 10th race on the card is 3, 6. So I think the last race is going to be chalky. If you wanted to add more horses in the 8th race, I think that's where you need to. It just depends on what type of ticket you're going to be playing. I just wanted to keep it on the cheap side with $24.
I'll start with going 4 deep, 3, 5, 6, and 10 in the first leg. I think it's a tough race. I think you've got to have coverage there. As far as race number 8 is concerned, same situation. I think you need coverage. We talked about how difficult this race is and how wide open it is just simply looking at the morning line. So 0 to 60 is part of it. The 3 horse, Ghosting Kim for Nacho Correas. The 7 horse, the 6 Senor Roma for Ravelli. And then the number 7 horse, Jade's Jelly for Wesley Ward. So a deep field, and you've got to go deep in there. As far as the final 2 legs, I'll go 3 deep in the Grade 3 Double Dog Dare with Royal Flag, the number 4 horse, Heiress 2, and Speech. Could be an all race, could be a single race. However you want to approach that one, you've got to take a stand. And then also race number 10, I'll go 2 deep in that turf event, maiden special weight, the 3 and the 6 Mubtada, for Shadwell, should move forward with his pedigree by Warfront, getting out to a route of ground, and then the number 6 horse, Scarlet Fusion, who is a colt by Curlin, who is a half-brother to 4 turf winners, including stakes winners Visionaire and Terrace Tango. So they gave it a go. He's got a Derby-type pedigree, Triple Crown-type pedigree. They've given him plenty of opportunities on the dirt, but now on to the turf course with that lineage that has been so successful on the grass. I like Scarlet Fusion in race number 10. Let's go to your best angle, race 7, Gabby.
Race 7, that allowance race going 6 furlongs on the main track that I alluded to, just 1 scratch at the number 2, Pretty Boy Elm. And the 5, the Ride of a Lifetime, is probably going to go off as your favorite, as he did some impressive things last year and going against Jackie's Warrior, who everybody thought was like the fastest horse in America last year.
He was at points.
He was.
He was at points.
He was, but this horse was really good himself. And Ignacio Correas took him to, obviously, Saratoga. He had to finish second to Jackie's Warrior. He's back sprinting, which is important, but I'm going to take a shot against him with the 10 Wara for Mark Casse. His first 3 races were on the turf, and I didn't know if I was truly convinced with him coming to the dirt. I mean, he's bred for the dirt, but still, he was running so well on the turf, I was a little dubious of him coming into the main track. And in fact, he was much better on the dirt. He is by Upstart. Bellamy Road on the bottom side. He's out of the mare Joyous Music, and he was just extremely impressive this day. You can see how he's kind of striding out. Prior to that, he was second against Chasing Artie, who came here to win the Palisades Turf Sprint. So all of his races have been good, and I do think he's a horse that's continuing to improve, and I like him back on the main track today. So he's going to be the bet there with the 5-10. That's the exact Akeen, the 5-10 over a bunch of horses underneath, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9.
There it is.
It said 19.
There's a 9. Just look at
I know
the
there's
screen.
not.
It's right there.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at paper, and my paper says 19, and there's
right
not
there,
19
Gabby.
horses
Just look at the
in
screen.
race.
Right there.
Okay.
Let's
Go
move
ahead.
along to my 10th, my best angle, the 10th race on the card, and going back to Scarlet Fusion, who is 9-5 on the morning line. I'll key him on top in a trifecta, which we'll get to in just a second. But let's go back to his race on the 16th of January, where he was second at the fairgrounds and setting the pace, going a mile and a 16th to a horse by the name of Big Lake. Big Lake is going to run him down. Big Lake ends up finishing third in his next start in the Grade 2 Rebel Stakes. So you've got to respect this form. Like I said, this horse has had plenty of opportunities. He's owned by two powerhouse operations in the game, Stone Street Stables, who bred him, and E5 Racing Thoroughbreds, who bought into him at the Keeneland September sale of 2019 at $800,000. Half brother to 4 turf winners. The first dam stakes placed. He's by Curlin, one of the top stallions in the world. So leaning on the turf pedigree, the proven turf pedigree from this first dam to move Scarlet Fusion forward, I'll put him on top with the 1, 3, 4, and 5 in the second and third slots in the final race today at Keeneland. Good race, and hopefully this gets him going, because this is a quality colt who deserves every opportunity to start climbing the ranks, and just maybe they'll move over to the grass will work out for him here this afternoon. So that is the play. 50-cent trifecta will cost you $8. 6 over 1, 3, 4, 5 over 1, 3, 4, and 5. All right, we've gotten back on time. Gabby Gaudet and Tom Leach. He's going to take a swing in race number 7 with his long shot pick of the day. The number 6 horse, Medicine Tail, is his top play. And Medicine Tail is a horse that we saw run here locally back on the 3rd of April on opening weekend. 4th versus a good field on the 3rd of April. And wide trip and still posted lifetime best buyer. So 12-1 on the morning line. Medicine Tail is a runner that you've got to respect in that race. And, in fact, I do have him on my lake pick 4. So that's Tom Leach's long shot pick of the day. You think you can make up some ground on me with the wins today? You feeling confident?
Pretty confident. I'm more of a late closer than early speed.
You were very confident coming in today in your ability to stay warm, because you brought like a parka with you today.
I'm tired of being cold.
It's the warmest day we've had in a while out here at Keeneland.
I spent the winter in South Florida, and you go from 80 degrees to 50 degrees, and it's just not good.
I don't want to hear it. You're from Baltimore.
But I'm going to remind you, race 8, 2 versus the 5.
2 versus 5. All right. You keep track of that, okay?
I'll do that.
For Gabby,
add it to a list.
For Gabby, I'm Scott, and for all of us today at Keeneland, enjoy a wonderful 10-race card on this Friday afternoon.
The excitement of Kentucky Derby Week and the return of the Keeneland April Horses of Racing Age sale. Backed by a history of success, the 2021 April sale introduces a new integrated format featuring an enhanced all-digital catalog and the option to buy horses on site in the Keeneland sales ring or remote from anywhere in the world. The April Horses of Racing Age sale, Monday, April 26th.
When it comes to hybrid technology, nobody has more hybrid models than Toyota. From the Prius, the hybrid that started it all, to America's best-selling car, Camry, and best-selling SUV, RAV4, to the first-ever Corolla hybrid, the new best-in-class Highlander hybrid, and now the first-ever Sienna hybrid minivan, and Venza, the first exclusively all-wheel drive hybrid. They all come with a new 10-year, 150,000-mile battery warranty. Nobody knows hybrids like Toyota. Let's go places.
At Baird, we offer a different, more holistic approach to wealth management. With your career, family, friends, and community, finding time for you and making sure your family's financial plans are on track can be a real challenge. At Baird, our financial advisors get it. We'll partner with you to create a unique financial plan and coordinate with your legal and tax advisors to bring it all together so you have more time for what matters most.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Keeneland Racecourse. At this time, we ask that you would please rise in tribute to our national anthem. Keeneland is proud to recognize Doris Johnson from Guest Services as the Employee of the Day. Doris, congratulations.
In the event of an emergency, Keeneland is dedicated to ensuring the safety of our patrons. This video illustrates the proper evacuation protocol from all locations in the Keeneland Grandstand facility. Depending on the nature of the emergency, directions may be altered. Please remain calm and follow the direction of guest services and security personnel. Patrons should never use elevators during an evacuation. Patrons in the corporate boxes, Eclipse Room, and Phoenix Room should exit using the stairway located near Elevator A. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and veer right to exit through the lower club entrance. Patrons in the Lafayette Room, Keeneland Room, Lexington Room, and Kentucky Room should exit using the stairway located near Elevator B. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and exit through the Paddock area using the East Gate. Patrons in the third floor main clubhouse and clubhouse paddock dining rooms should exit using the stairway located near Elevator A. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and veer right to exit through the lower club entrance. Patrons in the Bluegrass Room and third floor ITW area should exit using the stairway located near Elevator B. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and exit through the paddock area using the East Gate. Patrons in the Finish Line Room and Green Room should exit using the stairway leading to the North Terrace. Proceed down the stairs to the second level and through the doors outside. Proceed down the stairs to the ground level and exit through the North Gate. Patrons in the outside reserved grandstand seats and boxes should proceed down the nearest stairway to the ground level. Proceed under the grandstand towards the paddock area and exit via the nearest point of exit, the South Gate or the East Gate. Patrons in the second floor main clubhouse dining room and Life Members Room should exit using the stairway on the south side of the administrative offices. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and exit through the South Gate. Patrons in the second floor clubhouse paddock dining room and clubhouse tavern should exit using the stairway located near Elevator A. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and veer right to exit through the lower club entrance. Patrons in the mezzanine bar and second floor ITW area should exit using the stairway located near Elevator B. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and exit through the paddock area using the East Gate. Patrons in the sports bar and cantina should exit through the doors leading to the North Terrace. Proceed down the stairs to the ground level and exit through the North Gate. Patrons in the lower club, clubhouse lawn, club lobby, and director's room should proceed toward the clubhouse parking lot using the nearest point of exit. Patrons in the gift shop should proceed toward the South Gate using the nearest point of exit. Patrons in the apron area should proceed under the grandstand towards the paddock area and exit via the nearest point of exit, the South Gate or the East Gate. Patrons in the equestrian room and first floor Brats and Brew should proceed towards the North Terrace and exit through the North Gate. Patrons in the paddock area and North Terrace should proceed toward the nearest point of exit, the South Gate, East Gate, or North Gate. After evacuating the facility, please remain calm and follow the direction of guest services and security personnel in the safest route to return to your vehicle. Thank you for your attention and cooperation.
And they're off. She's So Shiny, Averly Jane, Royal County down to the inside. Here's Royal County moving up for the lead by just a neck. Averly Jane goes second. These two have opened up by 3 lengths back to Aaliyah Max in third. Texas Tierra is fourth on the far outside around the far turn. She's So Shiny drops back toward the inside, 1 lane off the rail in fifth. She's a fast one to the inside of that one, sixth. Then a break of nearly 10 more back to Van Sickle, who is last. Royal County top of the stretch, leading Averly Jane by a length and a half. Then a break of 5 more lengths back to Texas Tierra in third. Here comes Averly Jane now, setting her sights on the leader and running right on by as they move by the 8th pole. Averly Jane, Joel Rosario opening up with every stride. A 5-length lead past the 16th pole. Royal County, She's So Shiny, who goes to second now up the rail. Averly Jane to win the opener at Keeneland in convincing fashion. She's So Shiny was home second. Texas Tierra got up for third around Royal County. And then further back, She's a Fast one fifth.
After a slow...
In the winner's circle for Keeneland's first race, the official winner of the Blandford Stud, 5 Averly Jane, owned by Hat Creek Racing, Wesley Ward the trainer. Joel Rosario is the jockey. Averly Jane, a 2-year-old midshipman filly out of Shishashaken. Post. And they're off. Landmark Deal, Maximiliano, Pirate Rick, and Ready to Answer. And now Oceanic kicking in down toward the inside. Pirate Rick, a short lead, but Oceanic right there moving up the rail to put ahead in front. Pirate Rick second between horses. Maximiliano third up on the far outside. Ready to Answer slides down toward the rail in fourth by a neck. And Landmark Deal is fifth alongside of that one. Thrill Ride is sixth, and Searing Chase is last of the 7. 21.98 seconds for the opening quarter. Oceanic against the rail leads at a length around the far turn. Pirate Rick is second and now nearly 2 lengths off the lead. Ready to Answer, being pushed along toward the outside now in third. Still 5 lengths from the front. Searing Chase moves up the rail in fourth. Quarter mile to come. Oceanic to catch. And Searing Chase keeps running up the inside, but still some 5 lengths behind the leader, Oceanic. Pirate Rick is there. Searing Chase is in third. Ready to Answer fourth. Then Landmark Deal on the outside. Oceanic hanging tough so far. Leads it by 2.5 and deep stretch. Searing Chase in second. And then Pirate Rick, Oceanic, Javier Castellano in front. Oceanic to win it. Ready to Answer rallied up to grab second on the line from Searing Chase. Air 1 Oceanic, owned by Surfside Stables LLC of Dabby Appel. Jordan Player is the trainer and Javier Castellano the jockey. Oceanic. And they're off. There goes Coffee Maker. Coffee Maker and Ding Ding out running for the lead. Bodie Bayou comes away third up on the far outside. Midsummer Nights is away fourth. Secret Moment fifth. Landslid is sixth and last, running 10 lengths from the lead as they move around the far turn. Ding Ding against the rail, leads it by a length. Coffee Maker second toward the outside. Break of 2 lengths more to Bodie Bayou in third. A margin of a dozen more lengths back to Midsummer Nights off the turn, followed then by Landslid down to the inside. Secret Moment at the back, and Coffee Maker is running on for the lead at the 8th pole, but is chased by Bodie Bayou, who's 5 lengths away. Still got Ding Ding fighting on down to the inside, but Coffee Maker's in front of the final furlong. Coffee Maker by 6 lengths at the 16th pole. Bodie Bayou has gone to second, around Ding Ding third. Coffee Maker, John Velasquez to win it. Bodie Bayou was second. Ding Ding was third. Midsummer Nights was fourth. Landslid was fifth. Official winner of Keeneland's third race, the Gunston Hall, 5 Coffee Maker. The winner owned and bred in Kentucky by Greg Kaufman. Wesley Ward has his second winner on the card. At the post. And they're off. Don't Mind Me comes out running for the early lead. Don't Mind Me between horses. Goes right to the front, gets over toward the rail. Has the early advantage. Here's Sweet Wilhelmina moving up between horses now to challenge for the second spot. Blonde by Nature starts moving up, responds to the far outside, regains second, moves up within the neck of the leader. So Don't Mind Me leads it by a head to the far turn. Blonde by Nature second on the outside, a length and a half. Richie's Noble Girl is third by a neck. Sweet Wilhelmina backs away into fourth down toward the inside. Mon Cherie is fifth up on the outside. And then Saint Sation, who is sixth against the rail, lost ground around the turn there and has dropped out to the back of the pack along with Canola Way. The opening quarter went in 23.02 seconds. Blonde by Nature from the outside has a head in front. Don't Mind Me fighting on toward the inside. They're matching strides off the far turn. A gap of 6 more lengths, then back to Richie's Noble Girl, who is in third, followed by Sweet Wilhelmina in fourth. Saint Sation still far back in last in the final furlong now, and Blonde by Nature has the lead, but is chased by Richie's Noble Girl. 3 lengths between those top two. Richie's Noble Girl is trying, but Blonde by Nature still has the lead. Late run from Sweet Wilhelmina. Blonde by Nature down to the line. Blonde by Nature hangs on by a half length for Javier Padron Barcenas.
Blonde
for Keeneland's fourth race, 7 Blonde by Nature. Owned by Evadi team of Jesus Estrada, owned also by Adam Campbell, trained by Adam Campbell. Congratulations to Adam, first career victory as trainer. Javier Padron Barcenas, the winning jockey. Blonde by Nature, a 4-year-old filly by Tapiture. Out of Pyrite Marcy by Evansville Slough, the winner, bred in Kentucky by Evadi Farm Team. 6 furlongs, main track good, 1 minute 11.97 seconds. They are at the post. They're off. There goes Summer Assault out for the lead. Perfect Spidey is there in the opening strides. Bye-Bye Melvin moves up toward the center of the course along with Troubling Moon. Summer Assault, Perfect Spidey alongside, and then Bye-Bye Melvin to the far outside in third as they head for the first turn. Midnight Tea Time is fourth down toward the inside. Grace Creek fifth between horses. Troubling Moon drops back a couple of spots, settles sixth, 3 wide around the first turn toward the center of the pack. Spanish Kingdom had to check in traffic against the rail in the 7th position, gets wrestled back down toward the inside of horses. Imperador stumbled coming out of the gate, put in a brief bad step, recovered, but is at the back of the pack here for the move up the back stretch, is in between horses in 9th. Split the Wickets moves up in 10th. Artie's Rumor 11th. Argentello last of the 12. Now it was 23.68 seconds for that opening quarter. And it is Summer Assault who leads it by a length and a half midpoint of the back stretch. Bye-Bye Melvin second a length. Troubling Moon third and neck. Perfect Spidey is fourth. Grace Creek is fifth toward the outside, running 6 lengths off the lead. Midnight Tea Time. Split the Wickets. Imperador between horses, followed by Artie's Rumor, Spanish Kingdom, Argentello last. First half mile went 48.86 seconds. And Summer Assault is the leader by just a length around the far turn. Bye-Bye Melvin takes aim with the leader now and moves up just off the leader's flank into second. Grace Creek has to go wide to try to challenge for third. Troubling Moon is moving forward in between horses from fourth, now taking third. Perfect Spidey is looking toward the inside, hasn't found much running room there. Here comes Bye-Bye Melvin and Grace Creek on the outside. Artie's Rumor and Midnight Tea Time out in the center of the course. It is Bye-Bye Melvin a short lead. Grace Creek is in second. Imperador is in behind horses running from sixth. It is Bye-Bye Melvin, Grace Creek, and then Midnight Tea Time. Bye-Bye Melvin, Midnight Tea Time. Midnight Tea Time gets up by a neck to win it for Luis Saez. In the winner's circle for Keeneland's 5th race, the Fawn Leap, 3 Midnight Tea Time. Owned by Bella Cavello Stables of Frank Corigliano, trained by Joe Sharp. Luis Saez, the jockey. Midnight Tea Time, a 6-year-old gelded son of Midnight. At the post. They're off. There goes Abdan out in the center of the racetrack. Sometimes Always has early speed as well. Devoted to You, that French Toast down toward the inside. Sometimes Always with Abdan to the outside of that one. As they move into the first turn, Abdan moves by and clears with the lead now and gets over next to the rail by the time they reach the midpoint of the first turn. Abdan will save some ground there and has the lead by a length. Sometimes Always is second by just a half length. And French Toast is tucked away right behind the leader against the rail in third. Devoted to You goes fourth. Plutonium fifth. Knopfler is in the 6th position for the move up the backstretch. Bugler last of the 7, 23.92 seconds. The time for the opening quarter. Abdan is the leader. Abdan in front by 3/4 of a length. Sometimes Always is second toward the outside a half length. The French Toast in third a length. Devoted to You fourth up on the outside, just over 3 lengths off the lead. And then comes Plutonium after an opening half mile in 48.42 seconds. Knopfler and Bugler are side by side at the back. Bugler going to go to the center of the track, moves up 1 spot from last, 5 lengths from the front. Abdan is the leader. Abdan in front by 3/4 of a length. Sometimes Always is second up on the outside, 3/4 of a length. French Toast is third, a half length. Devoted to You fourth up on the outside. Bugler is fifth, still 5 from the front as the leader Abdan comes to the quarter pole. Leads it by 1 length off the far turn to the top of the short stretch. Sometimes Always takes aim again from the outside in second. French Toast is third, 3 lengths off the front pair. Bugler fourth on his outside. Sometimes Always pokes ahead in front. Abdan tries to fight back to the inside. French Toast 2 lengths away in third. Bugler fourth on the extreme outside. Sometimes Always with French Toast kicking in on the outside and running on by for a narrow lead. French Toast getting up. French Toast to win it for John Velasquez. Sometimes Always second. Abdan third. Bugler fourth. And Knopfler was fifth.
Able to settle off the pace in his first try at 2 turns. French Toast for Mike Rapoli and trainer Mike Maker with Johnny Velasquez in the saddle. Had him going late.
Keeneland's 6th race. 2 French Toast, owned by Rapoli Stable of Mike Rapoli, trained by Mike Maker. John and they're off. There goes Maven. Maven, quick into stride, goes right out for the early lead. Boldor comes away in second. Edgemont Road is third. Gildsman comes away running in the 4th position. Smart Rebark is down toward the inside, hugs the rail in 5th. Joker on Jack is 6th for the move to the far turn. And then Bad Beat Brian in 7th. Another Miracle is 8th and last. But it is Maven who shows the way by a length. Boldor second, a half length to Edgemont Road. Opening quarter, 21.96 seconds. Maven around the far turn in front by 2. Boldor giving chase in second, a length and a half. Edgemont Road is third by a half length. Gildsman fourth on the outside. Joker on Jack is 5th, still nearly 10 lengths off the lead. They turn for home, and Maven is chased by Boldor. Maven still leads at a length and a half. Boldor is second by 3. Gildsman in third. Final furlong. Boldor takes aim at Maven. Maven has the lead toward the rail, though, by a length. Boldor is still in the 2nd position. Joker on Jack is up to challenge for 3rd, but well behind Maven. Maven is in front. Maven to win it for John Velasquez. And then it was Boldor across the line in 2nd. Joker on Jack got up for 3rd, around Gildsman 4th. In the winner's circle for Keeneland's 7th race, the Hagen, number 3, Maven, owned by Richie Raven, trained by Wesley Ward, and ridden by John Velasquez. 3 wins today for Wesley Ward, and also 3 for John Velasquez, 2 for that combination. Maven. And they're off. There goes Inject. And there goes Our Working Girl from the far outside. Our Working Girl hustles right up and now takes the lead for the move up the backstretch. Inject is second toward the inside by a half length here in the early going. Dealing Justice third up on the outside. Miss Marley travels behind that one toward the center of the track in 4th. Mischieful is 5th down toward the rail. 4 lengths off the lead into the far turn. Choctaw Bingo between horses next to last. And Saphora Dada trails. Choctaw Bingo had to check off heels there and had to shift lanes to the outside. Drops out to the back. 22.04 seconds for the opening quarter. Our Working Girl is against the rail. Leads it by a length and a half. Dealing Justice goes second by a neck. Inject is 3rd. Mischieful is 4th toward the rail. Turning for home now. And will try to scoot up the inside to challenge for the lead. Our Working Girl has Mischieful moving up toward the inside. Inject is there toward the outside. These 3 line up in the final furlong. Our Working Girl fighting on gamely. Mischieful right there against the rail. Inject is fighting on from the far outside. 16th pole. Mischieful with a narrow lead, but here comes Inject for one final try. Inject from the outside. Inject gets up to win it by a neck for Luis Saez. Mischieful had to settle for 2nd. Our Working Girl was 3rd.
Our working girl was quick away from the starting gate, and she turned for
8th, the Roseglade 4 Inject, owned by Lewis Wright, trained by Brad Cox. 2 winners today for Louis. And they're off. There's Costana from the inside, along with Shush. Maid of Honor moves up from the outside, and Adma has early speed as well, comes forward into the 4th position as they head for the first turn. Shush toward the inside has the early lead by just a neck. Maid of Honor goes second, now pokes ahead in front, joined by Adma third to the far outside. Curly Whirly, a lane off the rail in 4th. Costana shuffled back into 5th. Kind Ways, 1 lane off the rail between horses in 6th. Ballymore Star, 3 wide around the turn in 7th. Colonel Abbey B is 8th against the rail. Flippant is 9th. Zaza Zoom is last of the 10. The opening quarter, 23.74 seconds. Shush is the leader. Shush against the rail leads at 3/4 of a length onto the backstretch. Maid of Honor goes second, 3/4 of a length. And then Adma third to the far outside, third by a neck. Curly Whirly is 4th, a length and a half. Then Costana toward the center of the pack in 5th, a half length. Followed by Kind Ways, who's toward her outside in 6th. Colonel Abbey B. Then Ballymore Star, who's toward the rail now, but running 7 lengths off the lead. Flippant and Zaza Zoom to bring up the back after an opening half mile in 48.82 seconds. Over to the far turn, Shush and Maid of Honor, 1-2, separated by just a neck. Adma third, and is wide around the far turn, still 2.5 lengths off the lead, followed by Curly Whirly in 4th. Kind Ways 5th on the outside. Costana is looking for some running room now. She is 6th, taking 5th ahead between horses, still looking for some more running room at the top of the stretch. Shush the leader, Maid of Honor in 2nd, Curly Whirly 3rd, Adma in 4th. Kind Ways, Ballymore Star down the far outside is still 6 lengths from the lead. It is Shush in front. Curly Whirly. Costana is finding room late. Here comes Costana. Flippant's running late as well. Costana, Flippant bearing down on Shush. Costana to the lead. Flippant's running out of time. Costana wins it for Luis Saez. It'll be close for second, either Flippant or Shush for that runner-up spot, followed by Curly Whirly. Circle for Keeneland's 9th race, the Keeneland Julep Cup. 2, Costana, owned by Belladonna Racing LLC of Portia Brooks, trained by Cherie Defoe. 3 wins today for Luis Saez, who goes back-to-back. Good afternoon. Welcome to Keeneland Racecourse, where the main track is listed fast. The turf is listed good. Rail is set at 20 feet for the turf racing. Time now for a look at the program changes, beginning at the first race. Race 1 starts the first of the day's rolling doubles and pick threes, also begins the early pick 5. There are no changes in that first event. Second race is where the early pick 4 begins. No changes in race 2. Checking the third race. In the third event, scratch number 1, Stylish Ash. That's in the third race, scratch number 1, Stylish Ash. As a result of that scratch, no superfecta on the third race. Again, no superfecta on that third race. Jockey change on number 5, Shelley's Gem. Gerardo Corrales will be the jockey. 5, Shelley's Gem. Gerardo Corrales will be the jockey. Checking the fourth race. Fourth race, scratch number 4, Shaldag. That's in the fourth race, scratch number 4, Shaldag.